Hey there, midlife women. Maybe you've been questioning a lot or quite possibly everything lately. Well, you're not alone, definitely. This week's energy reading explains why. Midlife women, this is your collective energy reading for June 1st through 7th. Hi, I'm Stephanie. I'm an intuitive energy reader, and I hold space for deeper awareness, movement through stuck places, and reconnecting with your inner knowing. Each week, I pull one tarot card to harness and highlight the collective energy that we're moving through as midlife women. And here you go. Here's our card this week, the Hanged Man, number 12 in the major arcana of the tarot. It's a big shift in the major arcana. I always give a little oof when I pull this card, the Hanged Man, because the Hanged Man requires a certain amount of surrender to the fact that we are in a huge transformative phase and to allow it. It asks us to surrender to seeing things literally upside down from a different perspective. But then with this card, there's the act of stepping up to meet it, and not in an active way, but stepping into our responsibility to surrender. And once we see what comes out of this, or once we are seeing from a different perspective, our responsibility to move from that place, a new place, to allow ourselves to move differently, to allow ourselves to think differently, to see differently, and not to be clinging and clingy to the old ways because they're so familiar. Obviously, we know right now that we are in times of turmoil, change, expansion, and growth, and this isn't bad. This is great. This is an incredible time to be living, even though it seems hard, and our job is to allow ourselves to see things differently. So it's one thing to be faced with all the problems. It's one thing to know that disruption is happening, and it's completely another thing to allow ourselves to surrender to it a bit. And by surrender, that doesn't mean to give into a side. It doesn't mean to just accept the hard times. It just means to acknowledge that change is happening. Acknowledge that it is completely happening. That internal and external growth of our collective consciousness is happening. It's radically happening right now. It's happening here. And here we are. We are women navigating midlife, and most of us now, or just in recent past, have been waking up to the horrors and constraints of a patriarchal society, of systems, of our own systems in our lives, in our daily lives, on the bigger scale and smaller scale. And so what do we do with this? What do we do with this awakening? What do we do with this information once we really see that it is so awful? Once we see it internally, once we see it externally, now what do we do? This is what the Hangman card is about. Look at this figure. It may look like they're asleep, but they are absolutely not. They are in a state of surrender, just like being in a chrysalis. They're waiting, but they're intentionally waiting. They are metamorphosizing from the inside out. We are metamorphosizing from the inside out. Are we aware of that is the question here. In energy work, and this is an energetic reading, awareness is the first and most important step in any kind of transformation or healing or energy work. So what that means is knowing, and not always in our mind level, but knowing where we are, knowing what's happening, awareness of what's happening, being in awareness on some level of where we are and what we're moving through and what we're contending with in the moment is so powerful, because when we have awareness, we get to choose. When we have awareness, we get to choose. And what that means is when we're aware of where we are energetically or what we're moving through, we get to move from a place where we're in more integrity. We're saying yes or no, or I want to do it this way or that way. And when we're not having the awareness of where we are getting moved. We are using and relying on our systems and programs that are not necessarily all ours. Our choices are coming from what we've learned from society, or learned from our family of upbringing, or learned from our experience in this program and this picture of living in this patriarchal system. So here we are, the Hanged Man. We have the opportunity to say, wow, our whole lives, or maybe possibly only parts of our lives, or maybe every aspect of our lives has turned upside down. Because when we're scared, we're moving forward from a place that's confined. Now, when we're energetically aware, we are opening up possibilities to move from a place of expansion and true connection and knowing, wisdom, and our deep, deep intuition. So, how do we do this? Here we are in these moments where things may be feeling topsy turvy for you, whether that's all of your life, all the aspects, or just parts, or one part, or one situation, or one dynamic. You get to look at that for yourself, right? So, from that place, how can you surrender to what is? Okay, so in an energetic way, how do you surrender to what is? Like I always say, you get quiet and you acknowledge and you bring your awareness to it, to the problem, the situation, the discomfort. And one way to do this that's really, really powerful and helpful is when you get quiet and you take the time out to be in a quiet space, whether it's 5 minutes or more of your day, you're breathing. You're focusing on your breath, and you're settling inside yourself with your breath and with your body, with your eyes closed. And then whatever the dynamic is, you're bringing it up inside of you. Okay, you're bringing up that dynamic, that situation, the area where you feel out of control or things have just turned over and you don't know what to do, where you're feeling upset, where you're feeling maybe angry, you're feeling confused, you're feeling like, why don't I feel the same anymore about fill in the blank, whatever it is. And you're breathing with your eyes closed, you're grounding into your body. Then as you're bringing up the situation, you're breathing and asking, where in my body am I feeling the strong sensation arise? Where is it within my body? And when you look at the situation or the moment in your life or this upheaval in the society, a dynamic with your partner, your children, your friends, your job, etc., you're asking, where am I feeling it light up so strongly as a bodily sensation? And this is a super powerful tool. And the biggest thing to do here is to stay in awareness. That means just staying with your breath and noticing. Oh, I've been feeling that in my stomach, for example. And once you identify where you're feeling internally the intense information or energy, you can gently put your hands on that place of your body and start directing your breath into that place in your body. And maybe it's your heart. Maybe it's your tummy. Maybe it's below that. And you're going to breathe slowly in and out, just breathing with your hands on that place of your body and just noticing, just being with it and noticing. That's it. And when I say that's it, it's not really that's it. It's a lot of stuff sometimes that comes up, but you stay with it and you can set a timer. You can just stay with it as long as you like. And then when you're ready, you have whatever it is that you have, then you can write in your journal about it. You can talk with a therapist, a friend about it. But here's the juice of it. The juice of it is in the actual connection and awareness that you're doing and you're making with your eyes closed and you're breathing. Not in the outcomes necessarily. You might not know anything that comes out of this. You might just have a feeling and you stay with it because what you're doing is you're starting to give that energy a space to breathe. And usually when things are uncomfortable in our lives or turning upside down and we feel out of control, we want to shut it down. We want to control it. We want to give it confines. And we're just allowing it a freedom to breathe in your own safe space with yourself. And as you give it freedom to breathe, then information can come. There's space between you and it. There's spaciousness. And it feels like, oh, I can breathe. I can find solutions. I can drop into a different awareness around whatever the thing is. And it might be your whole entire life. It might be your whole body you're breathing into. This is a powerful time to remind each and every one of you of this. And this is a powerful practice with the hangman. And I'm inviting everyone here to drop into my Thursday night meditation group. It's live on YouTube and we practice some form of this. So if you're wanting more one-on-one concentrated awareness in areas where you're struggling with control or out of control feelings, or things are moving and you don't quite know what to do, or things are moving and you don't quite know what it is, or you're feeling stuck, just please reach out to me for a one-on-one session, because this is the work we work through in a session. Okay, I'm sending lots and lots of love to every one of you, and I hope you can take time to practice this with the hangman this week and in these days. We're moving through a lot as a collective, and here we are as females in these female bodies, and we're holding a lot. So let's give us space to breathe, space to find solutions. We're not finding all the solutions. We're starting just to relate with the information and energy of all these deep, deep transformational changes that are happening. And we're finding space for them to be, to change, to grow, to move, to expand into their full potentiality. Okay, lots and lots of love to you, and I will see you next week.